All right, guys, welcome back. We are watching ReZero Season 2, Episode 16. I got the episode this time, don't worry. Last time was maybe my favorite episode of the show. It's so hard to decide. Like what? Like the top 5 episodes, what would they be? Season 2, Episode 4, Parent and Child. Season 1, Episode 13. Season 1, Episode 18. Last episode, maybe probably season 1 episode 15. That one's different. It's not as much of like an emotionally significant episode to me, but it was so good. It would be so hard. I don't know. I don't know if I can say as strongly as I was last time that the previous episode is truly my favorite. But it's at least top 5. Like there's some recency bias here. It's at least top 5. It has to be. It has to be. Um but yeah, that's, Amelia, Subaru, amazing conversation. All that stuff happened. And Garfield is doing some stuff. That seems to be kind of the thing we immediately need to address is the stuff with Garfield, right? And I don't know how we're gonna do it. He seems to be our most immediate obstacle to freeing the sanctuary, and it is just based in like feelings and emotions he has that we don't know anything about yet. Frankly, something about his mother, something about Frederica, something about feeling abandoned or something. I don't know. Let me make sure I have my subs correct. Okay, we are starting season 2, episode 16. You can line your own copy up with this if you want to. We are starting in 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Oh, right. Okay. We were told about how he experienced stuff here, and he told Ryuzu about it. Well, one of the Ryuzus. Oh. Yeah. Man, I didn't think anyone would have it worse than Amelia experiencing this, but maybe so, huh? Oh, right. Something, I can only imagine something that he views as his fault. Hmm. If it's something. That's, oh, I knew it. Oh, I never doubted it, too. Not for a second. What did you do to them, though? Is that right? There's no way he killed him, obviously. Oh, oh, I guess that's a permanent solution, huh? Yeah. How do we stop him? What do we say? What do we do? Yeah, that is what he wants. Yeah. Ah, God. He is such a interesting character. What was so different in like the first loop, or is that the second loop? When Subaru and Garfield had more of an understanding together, what was so different then, you know? Oh, big. Right? I wonder if it's something Amelia can relate to him about. Sure, sure, yeah. Like the extreme, like, yeah. Oh, now you have him back. Something, again, that's something similar to what Garfield went through, right? Oh, yeah, I don't think he's so closed off, right? Oh, maybe that's the kind of attitude you need with him, huh? But she kept trying. Yeah, she didn't lash out and close off completely. I that makes sense to me. It seems like we were presented with some opposing information, right? Right. Yeah, God, I feel like that's a feeling Subaru can relate to too, right? Or can understand. Right, right. That makes sense to me. Sure, right, perfect, exactly. Just like what Oto said. I don't know if he views it as taking out on other people. I think it's about himself, right? But yeah, I don't think Subaru's exactly correct, right? I think it's resentment towards himself, probably. Wanted her to be happy. Oh. But why does he feel like that? Yeah, I mean, it's just the abandonment, but. And he's taking it out on himself, right? On his own self image. Oh. Great. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, does Frederica know? So, of course, he's scared of the outside world, right? Of course, yeah. Huh. Then what? Then he thinks he's not enough, right? That if he could have done something to have her be happy here, she wouldn't have left, wouldn't have died. Oh, it'd be easier to hate her, right? You wouldn't feel abandoned. Oh, oh God. Oh no. Things ever gonna get better. It's like a better things, happiness just isn't possible. Oh. Yeah, and he views it as protection, of course. Will become a barrier. Oh. Right, right. If he can't rely on the barrier, he'll be it. Oh. Right, right. No, this actually makes so much sense. This actually makes so much sense. Okay, okay. Oh God. What do we do? What do we do? Subaru can't do anything against him. The puck's gone. I guess the melee still has magic, right? But like, okay, okay. Oh, it's oh God, it's something Subaru can relate to so much, right? Wanting to protect everyone. Yeah, yeah. So what are we doing? What are we doing? Oh, okay, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. I okay. Yeah, sure. Right. I don't know if I know what's happening right now, but oh, oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, yeah. Why did it have that effect exactly? Okay, okay. I mean, we saw that that crystal glowed when Frederica transformed. Oh, okay. Oh, oh. Okay, 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 okay. So this was all. This is what he must have talked to Puck about. This was part of the whole. Okay, okay. Hide behind your blood. Interesting. Yeah, it's like Garfield through trying to protect everyone. It's like this disrespect of other people's ability, I suppose. It's so similar to Subaru, right? Hmm. Right. Right. Oh God. How did Subaru not disintegrate? Man, he's a barrier, huh? Oh. Oh God. The wall you're so afraid of doesn't exist. Sure. Of course. Oh, that's where your starting line is. Perfect. Right. Oh. Hmm. Of course. She gets it too. Come on. Ah, Rem. Ah. Oh. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Oh, what is happening? Okay. A big coiled something. What is happening? Oh, oh, the sloth thing. Okay, he has it now. Awesome. I guess he's had it for a while, right? He just didn't know. Okay. Wait, that's actually crazy, isn't it? Oh God. Oh, it really took a lot out of him, though. Oh yeah. Okay. 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 Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. I mean, beating him physically is gonna be rough, huh? I mean, Amelia's here too. As long as I don't break, yeah. So much like Subaru, right? Because that's how we who? Oh, Josh, let's go. I did not recognize those legs at first. Hmm. See, I think this is what Garfield needs. He needs to be beaten physically in order to change his mind about any of this, right? Because that's how he views the problem, right? That's how he views the solution. Sure, sure. Not only that, but by a group of people, strength in numbers, right? Yeah, it could have been one of your stupid lessons, one of your analogies. Ah, God. Exactly. Just what I was thinking. Just what I was thinking. Beautiful. Beautiful. Ah. Ooh. So he has, yeah, he has the sloth thing. Right. The sloth witch factor. Yeah. Which, I mean, Beatrice could tell he had it before, right? That is a stupid name. Okay, now the thing about this, he can tell other people about it, right? He just said that to Amelia, and she, nothing happened. So what are other people going to think about it? It's not like Return by Death. Patrash is probably jealous. What's up, Oto? Thank God you're not dead. What? Okay. Whoa! I know it didn't. Uh-huh, uh-huh. He's a tsundere now, like... Right. Friends. Perfect. Where's Ram? Yeah, come on. Give Patrash a hug. Of course, of course. God, it's such an interesting, such an interesting balance between being too risky like that and knowing that you can rely on people around you, you know? Oh. Sure. Perfect. Hmm. Hmm. God. If Ram could only remember Rim, I think God, I think this would be another God, it would be so interesting. I think she could relate to Garfield's thing, you know? Yeah, only when he's passed out, of course. That's an interesting. Hmm. Sure, sure. Quite the match for him, huh? A little bit. It's no use trying to think. Okay, okay. Maybe that would be an improvement. Okay. Interesting. See, that's the problem. Is if he just admits he lost, that doesn't change his like mindset about things, really, right? He does have to think about it. Sure. Well, no, you should think about it. It's like, I mean, it doesn't mean you're wrong just because you lost, but to prove that you're not standing still. Ooh. Oh, yeah. God, I think someone like Ram really is what he needs. God, his mindset is so interesting, and the way it relates to everyone else too. That perfect. That kind of comforting from her might be a little bit scary, but we'll see. Okay. Oh, man, I really thought Amelia had the worst of it with the trial, but I guess it's rough for everyone, probably, right? I mean, it's not like it was easy for Subaru. Oh, yeah. It's so interesting that it's the person's own voice, you know? Okay. So, like, what? In what way does he have to face it? He has to prevent himself from what? Trying to not let them leave, I suppose? Because of course that's all he would want to do. But it's unavoidable, right? I mean, the past is the past. There's no way for him to have known, of course. Oh, right. It's not like, well, I don't know. It's a complicated situation. Oh, right. I mean, it's like he's so young, he's not even gonna remember her, really, right? Hmm. Oh, he has to come to terms with it somehow, right? I mean, because that line of thinking is what has led him to be the way he is. Just doesn't even get close to fitting around his neck. Ah, I mean, it's like only in the trial is probably the only time he ever sees her face. He probably didn't even remember her before, right? Oh, bring your father back. Oh God, and she was doing it for them, right? Yeah. Well, I don't know. Does that make it better or worse? Oh. Yeah. That in a way that makes it harder to accept, right? I mean, yeah. Right. It's like if he could find a way to hate her, even, right? That would make it even easier. Sure. Right. Yeah. I mean, if he learned it only from the trial, then oh, okay. Yeah. Hmm. Oh God. Oh God. Don't say that. Oh, it's hard to grow up. It's hard to not be a child anymore when he's been this. Oh, it's the end of your past. Sure. Yeah. I mean, you can't just be stuck here forever, right? You're never moving on if you just stay in the sanctuary forever. It really is like a sanctuary for him in that sense, right? What I'm expected to do. Exactly, right? What about what you expect for yourself? Sure, I understand that. But how do you know what people expect from you if you don't ask? Huh. But in a way that just makes it so much worse, right? But it's complicated. Yeah. Ooh. So What was the point of that? To jump down like that? They were worried. Come on. The double head pat. Hmm. It's yes, you did. Come on. Right. That's a result. Sure, sure. Amelia's got to do it. Exactly, exactly. Come on, come on. Big, exactly. Whoa, come on. Don't make him feel embarrassed. Of course, of course. Right, right. It's hard, it's hard. Come on. I get it. I get it. Sure. Subaru doesn't feel like the older brother, but that makes sense to me. Yeah, sure. Oh god, he's only 14. I didn't know that. I guess I'd say Garfield being younger than Subaru makes sense. Maybe like 16, 17. I didn't know he was that young. Sure, sure. Oh god. What? What was that noise? Oh god. Okay. Really giving us a let's talk later, huh? Exactly, exactly. I guess there's no way Amelia's gonna die in the trial or something, right? Come on. Not even like theoretically, you know. Sure. Okay. Hmm. I can only hope that the rest of the trial will be easier for her to deal with. What does that mean? Sure. Ooh, okay, okay. It's interesting. It's so much easier for him to apologize and say thanks. Saw what you did. That's not very specific. I don't know what we're referring to. What are we talking about? Okay, okay. Do we know what they're referring to right now? I don't think we do, right? I can't think of anything. Oh, something. Oh, he wrote like a bunch of stuff on the walls, I guess. Oh, okay. Okay, okay. Very impressive. Very impressive artistry. Oh, did he do this overnight, I bet? You nincompoop. And hey, he could apologize. Come on. Oh, it's time. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Is she normally faced directly with Echidna? Oh. Now, Echidna, what were you doing with Subaru the whole time then? It's mine alone. How greedy. Ooh. She is really trying to get under her skin. Yeah. Which is daughter? Right, just Amelia. Ooh, a fellow witch. Right, right. Quite an insufferable woman. Sure, nobody can lift a Quain stain alone. What an episode title. Will I even be able to fit that in the YouTube title? Maybe. We'll see. That was such a good episode. We'll talk about it in the discussion. Okay, let's talk about the episode. Man, I didn't even notice this episode was so long. It was like 30 minutes long, and when I looked over at the recording timer, I didn't even notice. What an episode. We never even get openings or endings. So like a 30-minute episode of this show too is always like crazy long compared to, like other anime, you might get like 20 minutes because there's the opening, there's the ending, it's probably 24 minutes long. Man, they really spoil us, huh? Um, a good episode yet again. We have finally gotten some illumination about Garfield. We have learned what is up with him, and it makes a lot of sense. I think it makes a lot of sense. It is a problem that Subaru and Amelia, I think, can both relate to in a way. Subaru especially because of his relationship with his parents. I think Subaru certainly took it in a different direction. And obviously Subaru, like the literal problem isn't the same, right? Like Subaru wasn't abandoned by his parents. The sad thing is from his parents' perspective, he abandoned them, right? That's the really that's the thing you never want to think about after parent and child, right? That will sadly never happen. But yeah, I think all of this makes a lot of sense for Garfield. Because it's always been clear to me that he's in no way like evil or something, right? Not like there's really anyone in the show who's just evil, period, right? Um, he's been doing everything for the sake of the people around him, essentially, right? He views himself as this protector figure in a way, right? Um, there are details about this that I'm not sure that I feel like I'm not entirely clear on exactly. So he didn't remember all of this stuff from the trial before. He was faced with it for the first time in the trial, which is this opening scene, right? Because he was so young, right? And I guess more specifically, the trial also showed him, his mother's carriage destroyed, all of that, which of course was a detail he didn't know before. Um, for one, what's interesting about that is like how does the trial, how does that work? How can the trial show him something that he didn't know? I mean, I guess it's just how it works with magic, right? It's interesting because from like for Subaru, it was like a construction from his mind, right? It was his mother and his father were like there, and it was like events that hadn't actually happened before, right? It just seems like for Garfield, it's like if it was a construction of his mind, just like it was for Subaru. How does he know that the carriage was even real, right? The carriage being destroyed, right? Like you could just say that that's something in his head that he imagined could have happened, right? That's like an insecurity he would have, this idea, this feeling of being abandoned in some way, and like it having led to that. But maybe I'm thinking too much about it. I don't know. I don't know. I thought that's where they were going here actually when Frederica says this about she said something about this, about how like their grandmother would have told them, and but she said it's just because he was so young that they didn't tell him. Now it's something that he has to face. It is his past that he has to grapple with. Which makes sense. Which makes sense. Let's go through the episode. I guess just more specifically. Man, so yeah, he sees God now with this knowledge that it's like his forehead, the kiss that his mother gave him on the forehead, and he wants to, that's why he starts smashing his forehead against the wall. That's so awful. I feel like even here, the reason why he has such a violent reaction to it, of course, I guess Frederica says that too, is because he blames himself, right? He thinks, he knows that his mother left for them, right? And of course, that's a very hard thing to grapple with, that she died afterwards, right? It's just interesting that there's further denial of that fact afterwards. It's like he doesn't even want to accept that. It would be so much easier, of course, to grapple with her having left if he can tell himself that, oh, she just left to find happiness that had nothing to do with him. Um, because it's like the fact that she died after leaving, to do something, to bring back their father for the sake of him and his sister. Well, of course, that makes it even worse, right? I just, yeah, yeah. I think like that only that what I mean by saying that makes it worse, of course, is that makes it harder for Garfield to like deal with it emotionally and mentally, of course, I think him having to deal with that being the reality of the situation is like a good thing for him, right? Like that's a good emotional step to have to take, it's something that's so similar to like things Subaru's had to deal with, right? Accepting the fact that other people will do things for you that not a, that you can't take everything onto yourself, right? Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Ah, God. So, Subaru and Amelia leave the sanctuary. Garfield is facing them down. Otto, you idiot. I love Otto so much. Otto has actually just become like my favorite character. Just, I don't know, he's so awesome. He's so awesome. I love him so much. God. Never knew he had it in him. I always knew. I knew Otto could do anything. Come on. Come on. And it's so interesting. He says, and now I look like this, holding his arms out like that. Because I think, like, think about like the way he looks right now, covered in blood. You can't tell if it's like his or someone else's, or, it's like it looks like he just got done murdering some people, right? Um, it's interesting that he thinks about that, because it's like it shows the way that he himself like views his actions. He views himself as a protector. He views himself as a barrier, right, protecting people from the outside world that's so dangerous, that is harmed people he cares about, um so it's like he doesn't want, it's such an interesting conflict between the way he portrays himself as this very aggressive, like violent person, right? Someone who is so scary and so intimidating, and the form he takes of the giant cat monster thing, right? When really, in his heart, emotionally, he wants to be someone who is protecting everyone, but I guess the important part of that isn't just how he's like seen by other people, right? If he has to achieve that through intimidation and even violence, he will. It just shows how much he actually does care about all these people that he wants to protect. It's 'cause I guess he views it as like foolish, I suppose, for other people to like want to go to the outside world in some way, like they don't know what they're getting into, I guess, and he is willing to do literally anything to prevent other people from doing that, because it comes from a place of caring about them in a way, of course, right? Hmm. You didn't kill them. Thank God he didn't kill them. God. Gonna smash up the entrance, gonna destroy the entrance to the trial so that the sanctuary will be closed forever. I really like the name sanctuary makes a lot more sense, just specifically for Garfield now. For Garfield, it really has been a sanctuary, right? A place for him to just be that is in some way he's like protected from all this negative stuff about the outside world to him, right? Um, it's like what Frederica said about how he's an adult now, or not really. I mean, he's 14, but he's not like a young child anymore. There are things that he has to face, right? He can't just sit in the literal sanctuary forever, right? He has to face these kinds of like rough things. Hmm. Are we ever going to get to see the opening ever again? How many times have we seen the opening, like in season two, period? God, Amelia. I love Amelia so much. What are you so afraid of? So, God, it is what Garfield is dealing with is something that I think is so relatable for both Amelia and Subaru in like different ways, right? Amelia has something so similar with like whatever happened in the forest with all the people, getting frozen, and her whatever her connection to all of that is. Um Of course, I mean, she has her memories back, or at least some of her memories back now, so I wonder if we're gonna get into more of that, right? I guess just my imagined situation of it, if she is the one who somehow froze everyone. That is very interesting. That's so close. That's so close in a way to like the way Garfield feels about his mother like leaving for him essentially, and that leading to her death. You know, why you're shouting and trying to make yourself look bigger, right? So yeah, Amelia says it's like a the way he acts so macho and like masculine like this is a reaction to fear, which I think makes sense, right? Like, of course, yeah, yeah. I think it's also like like I said before, it's like the point is also to make other people like afraid of him, right? Because he's the barrier, you know? Yeah, yeah. Been afraid of many things throughout my life. I lived in fear right up until today. I left all the bad things in Puck's hands so I could forget them, but now I've finally remembered. All of these characters gotta face their past. Hmm. But Garfield is not very receptive, right? And I think part of the reason why he's not receptive is because he is still unable to even face he's unable to think about the actual problem like himself either, right? He's still closing off like his own mind to the actual problem he's facing. So he's not even thinking about it himself, you know? So it's very hard to get through to him. True that Amelia failed the trial once. I can't deny she cried her eyes out. When it showed her a path she didn't want to see either. But Amelia will keep trying over and over. And it's like we sure have seen that. How she will keep trying, right? In the other loops. Hmm. You have a grudge against your mother who abandoned you. So it's so interesting, right? They assume he has some kind of grudge against her, which is something that would be it's like Garfield wishes he could have a grudge against her, essentially, right? It would be so much easier for him for him to deal with this kind of thing if he could just hate his mother, right? If he could just say, "Oh, she abandoned me and I hate her," right? It would be so much easier to do that, you know. But the problem is he did care about her. He cares about his sister. He cares about everyone in the sanctuary, and that makes it so much harder to like deal with, you know. Like, man, we take off our shoes when visiting someone's home, but it's the Natsky family way to trample all over people's hearts with our shoes on. It's just sure. hmm. Frederica left the sanctuary too. She believed you'd eventually liberate it, so she left to make a place in the outside world for the people living here. We keep saying that, and I know Frederica herself said that, but we haven't actually seen anything relating to that. Have we? I'm not crazy, right? All we've ever seen is Frederica just in the mansion, right? We have no idea what she's actually done to do that. I mean, I guess I believe that she's doing that in some way. I just have no idea how or what, right? Has she made any progress on that? I have no idea. You want to keep the sanctuary closed off because you hate your mother and the outside world that made her leave you. Ah, if only. That would be so much easier. That'd be so much easier, right? Man. I won't understand until you speak. Exactly. He learned that from Oto, kinda. Right, right. Don't take it out on the rest of us in here. It's like, oh, God, that would be such an easier way to view it, you know? I wanted my mom to be happy. Yeah. It's like he feels this extreme guilt from like of course, the fact that his mother left and then died, he views it as his fault, right? He thinks that because her mother, you know, because he existed and her mother wanted to go get their father and come back, she died, right? For their sake, essentially, you know. My sister and I were in the way of her happiness, weren't we? Hmm. I guess I still don't understand why he views it in that way exactly. That we're in the, you know, like I can't tell if this is entirely the like he's still not thinking of it of the exact situation, right? He's like Frederica says, he still isn't thinking of the fact that she left for them, right, to go get their father, right? That he's still thinking his mind is still closed in some sense, and he's still thinking in some way that she just left to be in the outside world to be happy, right? It only makes sense. She couldn't even stand to look at us. It would be so much easier if he could think of it in that way, right? If you're carrying baggage like that, what's wrong with dumping it somewhere? Hmm. Saw it in the graveyard. Right after Mom left here, there's a landslide. How horrible. right? Like, is it really just a coincidence? I guess. I mean, what else could it be, you know? Hmm. Didn't she leave here so she could find happiness? Not happiness for herself, though, in a way. I mean, in a sense, but happiness for them, right? She abandoned us only to die before she could find happiness. What are we supposed to do? I wanted Mom to be happy. I wanted her to make me believe our sadness and loneliness serve the purpose of helping her find happiness, right? It's like if she had at least been chasing her own happiness, it'd be so much easier to grapple with, right? I wanted her to make me hate her. Yeah, and if he could just hate her, then it would be God. It's such a conflict in him because he's genuinely doing this out of the care for the people around him, you know? Things changing ain't gonna make everyone happy. For a lot of us, nothing's ever gonna get better. That's a good way to view things. Gotta protect everything and everyone within my reach. It's so much like Subaru, right? It's such a thing that Subaru can relate to, right? It reminds me of Subaru in season one, like putting on the whole act that he was putting on when he was like so worried about Rim killing him in the mansion and all of this stuff, you know. Oh, right before the first like lap pillow scene with Amelia, right? Um, Garfield is kind of like in that mode at all times in a sense, right? With like his crazy macho act, like acting like someone who has to protect everyone in this way, you know. It's very much like that, you know. To become a barrier, a real barrier that separates the inside from the outside. I also have to wonder if like his behavior, acting so like toxic and aggressive and so hard to deal with all the time. I wonder too if that's like a reaction to his understanding that his mother's love for him is what like led to her death in a sense. Like not really, right? But like that's how he could view it. So if he makes himself so aggressive and so hard to deal with and so like this, then no one's gonna feel like that for him, right? No one's gonna try and go do things for him in that way, which could lead to them getting hurt, you know. So in a sense, too, that makes like his relationship with Ram so meaningful in a way too, because it's like he has to open himself up in that way, right? Because it's like if Ram cares about him, that's another person that the same thing could happen again, you know. But it's like obviously that's just something he has to be able to mentally deal with, right? You can't close yourself off from everyone forever because you're worried about that, right? Hmm. No one will know but me, and no one else needs to know. Ah, God, and he turns into this. Man. It's so interesting. It makes me think, like, when he's in this form, it's hard to tell how much, like, sanity he even has, you know? I'll have to force you into total submission to make you realize you're just a big, sweet idiot. He actually is. He actually is. He is actually completely, like, a very empathetic, emotional person. That's, like, entirely where he comes from, you know? So Subaru enacts this plan, which so that I guess this is what he talked to Puck about. He put Puck in the necklace, right? Um, I don't really know why or how this works exactly, but yeah, he stabs it into him. It untransforms him. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, I guess it makes sense. I don't know how it works, but like, sure, if you say so. I mean, we saw that the necklace made it like glowed and Frederica transformed before, but like Puck's inside of it. Yeah, there's a really hungry cat hanging out inside of it. Some kind of very specific detail about, however, the like spirit magic system works, I guess. Apparently, even when you can't talk, you find a way to be annoying by glowing. Hmm. If you want to stop me, do it with your own hands. Don't wuss out and hide behind your blood, you spineless coward. That is an interesting line. Hide behind your blood. Huh. We're going to the outside world. Amelia will take on the graveyard, and he has to be able to deal with that. He has to be able to accept the danger that other people will take on in some way, right? That's just I mean, it's so much like what Subaru has to accept in a sense, right? Because it's interesting, because it's like we just had this whole thing about Subaru's being greedy, as Echidna said, right? In terms of like being greedy about his future. He wants to get the best ending possible. He wants no one to have to die. He wants no one to have to be hurt in any way, you know? Um, but in a sense, that is unavoidable, right? Things like what happened to Rim are going to happen, right? And that's the kind of thing that Garfield has to be able to accept too, you know? Hmm. This place doesn't need to change. In the same way we've all been completely cornered, there's going to be a time when you'll be helpless on your own. Exactly, right? He can't take everything onto himself. I mean, it's something that Subaru understands so well, right? Learn what strength in numbers means. God, I cannot believe Subaru took this punch. It's like, man, like, no way. God, how does he do that, huh? Take a good look. The wall you're so afraid of doesn't exist. He's the wall. They're both the wall, right? They're both a wall, in a way, right? They don't have to be a wall that's all alone, though. Whenever you think, I want to do it, I want to change, that's where your starting line is. What a good line, huh? Subaru, God, how many times has Subaru had to grapple with that, you know? When you decide to lift your head and walk again, who has the right to stop you for any reason? Isn't that right? And Amelia knows it too, of course. And Rem. I miss Rem so much. If Rem was just like still here, I was thinking about that too with Ram and Rem. If Ram remembered everything that happened with Rem, with like on that night, right? Uh, I think it would be very interesting. Ram's feelings about her relationship with Rem, um, and everything that happened when like they were children and like on that night and their relationship since then. I think it would be so interesting and how it could potentially relate to Garfield's feelings about like his sister and his family and all that kind of stuff, you know. But of course, she doesn't remember Rem, so annoying. It's so sad, and I doubt it's ever gonna come back, right? I don't have any delusions that eventually we're just gonna magically fix it, and Rem's memories are gonna come back, and everyone's memories of Rem are gonna come back. It's never gonna happen, right? Which is very sad. I wonder if no, there's no way even Rem herself, like even if Rem herself somehow wakes up and is a person again, she's not gonna have her memories either, right? She's gonna be like Crush, right? She's not gonna have any memories, so. Hmm. I was about to say, I wonder if that would be like a good thing, because it would free her in a sense from the baggage of all the stuff that she was so tormented by. But I think that's the wrong way to look at it, right? Like, I mean, she had already dealt with it in a sense. Subaru helped her deal with it, you know. I think it made her stronger in the end, if anything. So yeah, yeah. So Subaru has the sloth witch factor thing. Very cool. He has the unseen hand now. He names it something stupid. The interesting thing about it too is other people. He's unlike Return by Death. Other people are able to like see that he has it, and like yeah, it's a very it's unavoidable that other people are going to know about it. He just used it right here, which is very interesting. I wonder what are people going to think about the fact that he has this? Like, what are the implications behind it? I don't know. I don't know. Talk about a bad first impression for a new technique. Yeah, man. As long as I don't break, I can sell. Like that is such a Subaru line, right? As long as I don't break, right? It makes you think back to like the scene where Subaru the I know hell line, right? It's like Garfield thinks he knows hell too. Garfield has such a similar mentality to the mentality that Subaru had in that moment. It's just taking everything on yourself in that way. For the people you care about. Hmm. And what's interesting, okay, Patrash comes and saves Garfield, right? Actually, we'll talk about it in a sec with Ram and his conversation, because I think there's an interesting thing that Garfield's doing here mentally after this, right? Which is the idea of him accepting his loss here. Um, there's multiple ways he can take it, right? With like whether or not it actually changes his mind about everything or not, right? Because he has to accept his loss in terms of like a like emotional sense almost, rather than just thinking, oh, I failed, I wasn't strong enough to protect everyone. And it certainly seems like he is taking on the better former path, right? But it's an interesting thing to think about. Strength in numbers. Let's go. Hmm. Nobody can lift a Quain stain alone. A Quain stone alone. Sure. You know what? I get that one. I understand. I don't know what that means. I don't know what a Quain stone is, but like, I understand it. I understand it for once. Where did Garfield like learn all of these stupid like sayings from? The nasty witch was probably behind it, that sloth witch factor that she talked about. Yeah. I mean, Beatrice could tell that he had it, right? Or Beatrice just, like, mentioned it, right? Said something about the sloth witch factor. I don't remember exactly what she said. Unperceived impact. It's the invisible will of God. Invisible providence. What a nice name. Subaru is so good at naming these things, huh? God. And it's very intentionally shown to us, right? That he says it. Amelia hears him say invisible providence. So he's able to tell other people about it, unlike Return by Death. Which again, I wonder how people are going to react to it, like what people are going to think about it. Because Subaru already has this link to the witch. Obviously, the people around him who care about him, they're not going to like. It's not like their opinions of him are going to change because he has this now, right? They're not going to be like, "Oh, you've been secretly evil the whole time." I just wonder. I don't know. It's interesting. We get another lap pillow. Very nice. Reward for overcoming his biggest battle yet. And here's Oto. Thank God. And Subaru enters like tsundere mode. I don't know. This happened because you went off and did your own thing, but I guess I might have been in trouble without your help. So it's not like I'm great. So it's not like I'm not grateful at all. This is how it should be, I guess, right? This is how it should be. There's this balance between like accepting other people like hurting themselves in some way for you versus people hurting themselves too much for you, which is what Subaru has always done for like other people, right? I don't know, there's an interesting balance between it, right? It's there's no like right answer, you know. It's fine for him to be mad at Oto, I guess, for almost dying, kinda, you know. As long as Subaru is fine with people being mad at him for dying all the time, or almost dying from their perspective, you know. Patrash is mad, of course. Very jealous, I'm sure. And Garfield's getting his own reward over there. He really needs someone like Ram, I think. Someone who doesn't take his nonsense, someone who's not scared of him, you know? He needs someone who won't just be like another like sanctuary for him, I feel like, you know, someone who will push him in a sense, right? In a shred of niceness in you. Yes, there is. Come on. She was yeah, there is. When there's someone worth being nice to, I can be nice, which she was just doing. Come on. Hmm. From now on, fight with an empty head and don't think about anything. I don't know about that advice, I guess, I suppose. He can think, he just has to, he has to go down the right train of thought. Admitting and surrendering are two different things. That's what I'm talking about, right? Is like he can admit he lost here, but that is a different thing than changing his mind about everything completely, you know? Because like the way it's like he connects this like physical strength and being the barrier to like his mental like reason for doing everything, is an emotional reason for doing everything here, is interesting because it's like he could just think, oh, I just lost, I just wasn't strong enough, you know. I don't think that's really the path he's going down though at all. Right? It's just interesting that that's it could be the case. Stop yammering. Exactly. How long must you carry on in front of the woman you love before you're satisfied? Right, exactly. He's so much like Subaru. It's crazy, man. Let me just fall in line beside the rest of you with a smile. It's so hard for him to accept that, right? I accept that I lost, but I don't accept that I was wrong. Can't make some half-assed attempt. And I guess the interesting question too is whether or not he was wrong. I guess it's hard to say he's wrong because it all comes from a place of him caring about the people around him so much, and you certainly can't fault him for that, right? But it's just in the same vein as like Subaru, right, where he is not giving other people like the independence that they should have to make their own decisions and be willing to go get hurt and that kind of thing, you know. Like his mom, I like, of course, it's horrible that she died in a random landslide, but like, it's not that doesn't mean you can just stop everyone from doing anything forever because you're worried they're going to die in a random landslide, right? Because that could happen to Garfield too, right? And people care about him too, right? So that's just the reality. That's just how life works, unfortunately, right? The trial. Can you change? Are you going to be stuck? Are you going to be a little cowering child stuck in one place forever? Find out with your own eyes. Hmm. He can do it. He can do it. If anything frightens you to the point of tears, I'll comfort you. God, we don't get to see Ram smile like that very often, huh? In he goes. He sees Subaru's stupid things he wrote on the walls. First, you must confront your own past. And he has to confront it. God, it must be so hard for him. For one, it's like he gets to see his mom's face. I just can't imagine, right, how that must feel to him. Because again, it's like I bet he just doesn't even remember. He was so little, you know. This is probably the only time he gets to see her face at all, you know, is right now. It's like he wishes he could stop it so badly, you know. But I mean, it's like you can't stop other people from caring about you like his mom does, especially not your fucking mom, right? It's impossible to stop your mother from caring about you, right? I don't know what he could ever, you know, it's impossible, right? People are going to care about you, and people are, there is always the potential that they could get hurt through the sense of like they want to do something for you and something, you know, and that puts some kind of burden, if you want to look at it in that way, on them. But there's nothing you can do about that, right? Obviously, this is an extreme, horrible situation where she died randomly. And in that sense, it's like it doesn't even like that's just crazy, right? That like you really shouldn't blame yourself for that, right? Hmm. How these two little ones feel? God, it's like he wants to punch himself. That's just crazy, you know? Like, because again, it's like it would be so much easier for him if he had no connection to his mother at all. It's like he wouldn't have this problem. It's like this double problem where if he could just have no connection to other people at all, he wouldn't be hurt by this. And if other people could have no connection to him at all, then he wouldn't be hurt by this, right? But both of those things are impossible, right? They cannot be done, right? It's like he tried to do both in a sense, you know. He tried to disconnect himself from his mother by saying that she actually just didn't care about him and she just left to find her own happiness, and he was like an obstacle in that way, you know. Hmm. And then through that, it's like he tried to like want to hate her for it. He just can't, you know. He can't disconnect himself from her, you know. It's just impossible, you know. It's unfortunately it's easier to come to terms with the other people being hurt for you, if you want to look at it in that way, than it is to like disconnect yourself from everyone completely. It's like it's just an unavoidable feeling, you know. It's always going to happen, right? Hmm. I wonder how old Frederica is. I mean, she's a few years older than him, right? You're very responsible even for a child of mine, so please take care of him. And then she leaves too, which is interesting because it shows, for one, I think she probably believes in him in a sense, right? That she, you know. Hmm. Here's where they get the necklaces, of course. Ah, there's the kiss. Mother loved both you and me dearly. She left the sanctuary for her family's sake. Yeah, if she loved us, then why? It probably made things easier believing that she didn't love us. Exactly. If you believed that your love was one-sided, you could justify the pain it caused you. Sure, sure. Because that too, right? The fact that you have to accept that even a relationship where both people care about each other and love each other ends up in so much pain and suffering, you know. But I don't know. That's just how it is. Like that's just yeah. You've got to be able to accept that, right? People die in random landslides. Unfortunately, I mean, it's so hard to like think about. Like that's never. I can't imagine how I would react, right? Like it's so understandable. Like I don't know if my mom died in a landslide. Like I just God, yeah, rough, right? Rough. In a lot of ways, I mean, in a lot of ways, it's worse than anything Subaru himself has ever had to deal with, right? Like, I mean, at least Rem isn't literally dead, right? I mean, as close as she can be, but she's not, you know? Yeah, like, it's rough, right? Mother did meet misfortune upon leaving here. Do you think grandmother would not inform us? You must know why you were not told at such a young age. Yeah, because he's no longer a young child now. You remembered that mother loved you. You have that scar on your forehead because you wanted to forget her kiss. What a God, what a sad story behind that, huh? Hmm. This is the end of your past. It's like he's got to move on. He can't be in the sanctuary forever, right? He can't be in the sanctuary forever. You must rely on your older sister even when she's still so young. You'll never find your answer. he can count on himself too, in a way, right? Because in a sense, it's like it's so interesting how he calls himself the barrier, but in a sense, it's like he's not believing in himself at all either, right? What do you want to do? What does he want to do? I want to do what I'm expected to do. But where do those expectations come from? From yourself? From the people around you? How do you know what other people expect from you? You know? Like, yeah, yeah. Hmm. I want him to meet up with Frederica again so bad now. Like, I wonder. Amelia is trying to figure out these, figure out the clones. She's not having a good time. And Garfield does it. God, the reusers really do just care about him, right? I mean, of course. Can't say I really got any results you can see out of it, but I do think I got some closure. What more do you need, right? Come on. Amelia's got to do the rest, obviously. I think the reason I finally accepted the trial was probably because of you. And he says thanks. Like, Subaru, you shouldn't try to make someone feel embarrassed for saying thanks. Like, come on. And Garfield's 14, which is crazy. I guess him being younger than Subaru, I can believe, right? Subaru's 18, right? But I come on, I didn't think it was gonna be 14. Like God, in a way, that's kind of funny how Garfield is so much younger than Subaru and facing such like similar things, you know. And Amelia hits Subaru with a "Let's talk later." Scary, stressful. I wonder. I wonder. And in she goes. Watch out for cars and boys. What are you talking about? We got a guilty law that came one step short. What could that possibly mean? What could that possibly mean? I think it's very interesting, of course, how Garfield. It's easier for him to apologize than it is to say thanks, right? That's such a callback, right? We know about that. We know about that problem. And yeah, Garfield saw all the like I guess encouragements that Subaru wrote on all the walls for Amelia for her to do the trial. Very impressive, very nice. Some very impressive artistry, frankly. Yeah, very good, very good. And it's time to face her past. And she talks with Echidna. Echidna is trying so hard to undermine her and like make her fail, it seems, you know? Awfully bold of you to stroll in here after that disgraceful display before. You loose woman who kisses up to the first man to comfort you when you're sobbing in despair. Like, Echidna, you're not one to talk. Like, come on. Utterly selfish hedonist who loves the you that he's forgiven. Why don't you say something witch's daughter? Can't get to her that easily. Not anymore. She's Amelia, the frozen witch born in Elior Forest. I won't give in to the malice of a fellow witch. Quite an insufferable woman, after all. Exactly. Nobody can lift a Quain stain Quain. Why do I keep saying that? Nobody can lift a Quain stone alone. That's like a tongue twister. Jesus. Anyway, that was a good episode. A very good episode. Hmm. I don't know. A good one. A good one. I feel like there's more. There's so much stuff in this episode. I feel like I gotta think about it. I gotta think about it. I like Garfield. Garfield's a very cool character. I'm glad we finally uncovered the mysteries of his mind. Anyway, I guess that's it. So please, if you enjoy my videos, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and I will see you in the next one.